Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Anatiga. If you're new here, you're very welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming again. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a V-shaped kimono sleeve BUBU kaftan dress with pockets and a front slit. So guys, let's get started. This fabric is 6 meters across the length and 45 inches self-edge to self-edge. So I'm gonna work across the fabric, across the length, right, instead of the width. So I'm gonna fold the fabric over. I'm not working from self-edge to self-edge because it's too short for me. That's 45 inches, but I need 60 inches as the total length of the dress. So you can see me here folding across. Once I had the 60 inches needed for the dress length, I grabbed my scissors and cut. I'm gonna be drafting the front panel and the back separately. So what I did was to cut that again. Both the front panel and the back panel will be 60 inches in length and both width are gonna be 45 inches. The self-edge to self-edge. Now I'm gonna be working on the front panel and I'm gonna fold that part in half. I'm gonna fold it over, self-edge to self-edge, not across. So the 45 inches is being folded. Once folded, I would have 22.5 inches. From the place on fold, mark half an inch all the way down for the slit. And also at the top, mark half an inch as well as the shoulder line, right, before we start drafting the neckline and the shoulder. So you want to start off, like I said, on the place on fold, take half an inch. You want to mark half an inch all the way down, half an inch all the way down. Don't forget the length of the dress is 60 inches. If you want yours shorter, you can, but this is 60 inches in length. So once that is marked, I'm gonna rule a line right to the hemline of this fabric all the way down. And once I've ruled that line, I'm gonna fold over. You wanna fold the half an inch away. You can also iron it to make it more steady. Now I'm gonna add the neck width, which is 3 inches. You can take 3.5 if you want. And next you wanna add your shoulder measurement. Whatever your shoulder is, divided by 2 and add. So I've marked 8 over there. So before I add my neck depth, I'm gonna mark that half an inch line. That line will represent the shoulder line or the start line. So that's my neck width and that's my shoulder. So I'm gonna be taking my neck depth measurement, which is 7 inches from that start line or shoulder line. Now I'm gonna draft the neckline. For the sleeve length, I'm gonna be using the whole, length to the self edge, guys. I'm gonna use the whole lot. So what I'm doing from that shoulder line, from the 8 inches, you wanna come down by 1 inch and draft your shoulder slope. From the shoulder line, come down by 1 inch and draft your shoulder slope. Connect that to your neckline, and you want to extend that line up to the edge of your fabric. Like I said, I'm using the whole width of the fabric. So if you want a longer, kimono sleeve, you can, but mine is fine where it is. So I'm gonna come down for the sleeve opening. I'm gonna come down from that line by 8 inches. The next stage is adding my vertical measurement from my shoulder to my bust line, shoulder to waist, and shoulder to hip line. Here I'm using a brighter chalk to retrace what I've drafted already, so it's more visible. Now we're gonna add our shoulder to bust line measurement. Whatever yours is, you wanna add from the start line, that shoulder line up to your bust line. Make the markings and grab your ruler and connect all those dots together. Now you want to add your shoulder to waistline measurement. So your shoulder to waistline, your vertical measurement from shoulder to your waistline, you want to add it as well. Make your markings and connect those dots with a straight line again. Next is your shoulder to hip line. Your shoulder to hip line, make the marking and connect again with the line. Once you've marked your vertical measurement for shoulder to bust, waist and hip, make sure you have your hem allowance as well as the total length of the dress. For a normal BUBU dress, you will need your bust circumference divided by 4. So I'm going to show you that first, then I'm going to make a change to it. So you want to watch carefully here. Now I'm gonna add the bust circumference divided by 4. Whatever your bust circumference is, you wanna make the marking. Your bust circumference divided by 4, make the marking. You wanna add 4 inches ease allowance and 1 inch seam allowance. 4 inches ease allowance and 1 inch seam allowance. Apart from your bust circumference, make that marking. Go to your waist and do the same. Divide your waistline, your waist circumference by 4. Whatever you have, make the marking. Add 4 inches ease allowance and add 1 inch seam allowance. The same goes for your hips as well. Your hip circumference divided by 4. Make the marking. Add 4 inches ease allowance and 1 inch seam allowance. Now listen, for a normal BUBU dress, you're gonna connect the hip to the waist, then the waist to the bust, right up to the sleeve opening. Then you find your way all the way from the hip as well to the hemline. That's for a normal BUBU dress. For this one, we're making a V-shaped BUBU. You want to transfer the measurement on the hip to the bust line. Yes, we're going to transfer the measurement on the hip line to the bust line. So whatever I have over there on the hip, I'm going to come over to the bust line and add that measurement. That is our new measurement now. The reason for this is because we're making a V-shaped BUBU kaftan dress. After redrafting the sleeve opening and the bust line, I'm gonna go back to the hip line. For the hemline measurement, you wanna take 2 inches off the original measurement of your hip line, not including the ease. Don't add the ease allowance, just the original measurement of the hip minus 2 inches, then add 1 inch seam allowance. If you want a more defined V shape, then you can take up to 3 inches off. You can decide to take 2.5 inches or 3 inches off. So I've taken 2 inches off mine. Now you want to connect the hemline to your bust line to form that V shape. At this stage, the hip line and the waistline does not matter anymore as you're connecting from the bust, but make sure the hip area isn't too tight for you. Be conscious of that while drafting. I understand that some people have a larger bust than their hip, and this will work out perfectly. And we have people whose hip line are larger than their bust, and they need to make the necessary adjustment so the hip line isn't too tight. Next, you want to work on your back panel. You want to lay it down and place the front panel on top of the back panel so we can cut the back. The only difference between the front and the back is the neckline and the slit. The back is not gonna have any slit, and the neckline is gonna be more roundish instead of a V shape. So that's the difference. The shape is the same size, same everything. And don't forget, guys, for the front panel, remember I folded 1/2 inch. It's still folded. Once I placed the front panel on top of the back panel, I started making my markings for the back neckline. Now I'm gonna be making the marking as well from that shoulder line. Remember there was 1/2 inch shoulder line. So I'm gonna take 2 inches here for the back neckline. Guys, later on I went ahead and extended it to 3 inches. 2 inches is okay, but it's my choice to go for a 3 inches neck depth. So you can use 2 inches. That was my choice. So the width remains 3 inches for the back, but the depth is 2 inches over here. Right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut. That's all about it. Like I said, there's not gonna be a slit at the back, it's just at the front. So I grabbed my scissors and started cutting. I cut the back neckline first. Then I went ahead to cut the front neckline and the rest of the dress. This is what you want your front neckline to look like after cutting. After cutting, this is what you should have. Now I'm gonna start working on the front panel. I'm gonna cut the slit now. So you wanna grab your scissors and slit open. Don't forget you've got 1/2 inch as your seam allowance for the front opening. Now you will not stitch from your neckline all the way down to the slit opening. For my slit opening, I came up by 14 inches from the hemline. So you want to determine how much of the slit opening you want, but you don't want it too high. Next, I went ahead to draft my 2 pockets. So I came down by 7 inches from that edge. I marked 1/2 inch first. Right, so from the 1/2 inch I came down by 7 inches. So that's where my pocket is gonna be. So from that 7 inches, come down again by 5 inches. So 7 inches there, 5 inches there. So I'm gonna start my drafting. This is a freehand pocket drafting, so you just want to watch what I'm doing. I came down from that marked 1/2 inch by 7 inches, then another 5 inches. So from that 1/2 inch, you want to start drafting all the way down to that marked 5 inches. That 5 inches is a guide as to how deep the pocket is gonna be. If you want to go 6 inches down, 7 inches, it's up to you. Now you want to add your seam allowance all the way around the pocket. So once you've added your seam allowance, then it's time to cut. You need 4 of this, 2 for the right side and 2 for the left side of the dress. So you need 4 of that. You want to start off the sewing by starting off from the neckline, the front neckline. Take 1/2 inch all the way down to the slit opening. Next, you want to neatly stitch the inside of the slit. You want to stitch in like this, fold it in and stitch all the way down from the neckline all the way down the slit, and do that to the other side as well. Now you want to add bias to the neckline. You can either make your own or use a ready-made one. Once the front neckline was sorted with the bias, I went ahead and sorted the back neckline as well. Here I'm laying my appliques on the neckline. Because it's a V-neck, it wasn't straightforward. I had to make some cuts at each point. One side of the V-neck was laid, then I made a cut. Then the other side as well, I laid it and made a cut. So you want to watch what I'm doing. The most interesting bit about this applique is because it's an iron-on applique. So guys, it was so easy. But before I did the iron-on, I had to stitch down some part of the applique, then give it a good press. This is what the result was after ironing. So I'll move on and add this bit of it. This is gonna run right from the neckline to the top bit of the slit. So I'm gonna match that to the V-neck. As you can see, I'm matching it up there. Next, I grabbed my iron and applied the applique after stitching down, some part of it, and it came out nice, guys. The next stage was stitching the front panel and the back panel together along the shoulder line. Once that was done, I moved on to the next stage. The sleeve opening was adjusted. I made it a bit slant and about 3/4 of an inch was cut off. Now here I'm gonna be adding the pocket. So from that shoulder line you want to come down to where you want your pocket to start. So I've got 18.5 here from the shoulders. Then I'm gonna include the opening of the pocket, which is 7 inches. So from that 18.5 I came down by 7 inches, which is the 7 inches opening of the pocket. So I did the same to the other side as well. So it has to match each other. They've got to match. The pockets have got to match. So here, as you can see, I'm applying the pocket So one side of the pocket is gonna be attached here. The right side of the pocket and the right side of the fabric. As you can see, place one at the front panel and the other one at the back. Before you want to start stitching that side from the sleeve opening, guys, you want to individually attach the pocket to each panel. Attach one part of the pocket to the front panel and the other part to the back panel. Attach them first, and when you start stitching the rest of the bodies, make sure you don't stitch over the 7 inches opening, because that's the opening of the pocket. Just carry on with the bodies. All you need to do is just to attach each part of the pocket to the panels. Once the pockets were applied, I went ahead and top stitched the opening, and also I moved on to the rest of the bodies. I sorted the sleeve opening and also the hemline. And guys, that was it for this straightforward and easy project. Very easy DIY. Now we've come to the end of this tutorial. I hope this video has been helpful. If it has, remember to give this video a big thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, guys, press that subscribe button now, and I'll see you in my next video. Till then, look after yourself, lovelies, and bye for now.